Hey, Nina Lewis here from Nina Online and creator of Right to Get Clients. And today I want to talk about something a little different. As a digital nomad and an online business owner, I travel a lot. I've traveled to a lot of places and I've been fortunate enough to live in Thailand for 15 months. And I'm about to go on my next journey in a few short months. Stay tuned because you don't want to miss that surprise destination. But a lot of people are like, oh, how can you afford to travel? How do you have all this time to travel? Well, as far as the time I have to travel is because I have my own business. But as far as the money, I'm telling you that you really don't need a lot of money to travel. See, a lot of people are like, oh, you have to fly first class and stay in expensive hotels, but that's not the truth. The truth is you can spend less on accommodation, so that way when you do get to your travel destination, you can spend more on activities and things that you really want to enjoy. And I really don't spend a lot of money on my plane flight or first class, because to tell you the truth, I sleep. Even if it's a 15-minute flight, well, I don't know who has 15-minute flights, but let's just say if it's an hour flight, a 2-hour flight, 3-hour flight, 15-hour flight, I sleep all the time. As soon as they put on the safety information, I put on my seatbelt and I fall right asleep no matter what. I only wake up when it's snack time, and then when I eat the snack, I go right back to sleep. So I don't really care about first class or anything like that at this moment in my life. So what do I use to help me find budget travel deals? So basically I use Skyscanner, and Skyscanner I think it's .com or .net. Don't quote me on this. I'll put the link below. But Skyscanner is basically a site. It's kind of like Kayak, Priceline, things like that, but it's all specifically for airlines. I can't remember if there's hotels on there, but I usually use it for flights. And you can really find great flights where you can get at least $50 to $100, sometimes $300 off a flight depending on where you're going. I remember when I was flying back from Thailand and I had to take an emergency flight, and I got a good deal from Thailand to New York for only $500, and usually those tickets are around $800, $1,000, right? So that was an incredibly great deal from Skyscanner. So I always go to Skyscanner first before I go to any other website. Then as far as my accommodations, I usually look on Airbnb.com before I go anywhere else, because Airbnb, I'm really not staying in the room. Anytime I go to my destination, I'm only in the room to shower and sleep, okay? So I really try to find rooms that, of course, have Wi-Fi for my online business just in case, but I really try to find rooms that are comfortable, affordable, and clean, and are not far away from the airport, where I'm not going to be paying an enormous amount of money to take a taxi or Uber to the destination or to the accommodation. Okay, so I usually go ahead and do that. Another thing is I use Expedia, because sometimes you want to have a hotel, you don't want to be in somebody else's house, or you don't want to have an Airbnb host in your business or anything like that. So there are times where you have to use or invest in a hotel or a motel or something like that. And then I use the site like Expedia. There's also TripAdvisor and Priceline and things like that. But I've been an Expedia client for about the last 10 or 12 years, I'm gonna say. So I get alerts for special deals and things like that, and I look around and I shop by the location that I'm going to be in, and the price of the hotel, the cleanliness, and the reviews of the hotel. So I use that. And usually with Expedia, if you're booking through like a third-party site, you can get sometimes $50 to $100 off. And even if they're having a special deal, you can really get a great deal. Okay, another thing I use, because I'm so last minute, I don't know what airline I'm flying until like the day of or the day before. I hardly know the time. I know I'm so bad with that. That's something that I have to work on, but I really know all the details of my flight until like the day before or like a few hours before. So I have an app called TripIt, and TripIt is an app. There's a free version and the paid version, and basically the free version gives me everything that I need. It usually emails me a week before. When I book my trip, it emails me an itinerary, and a week before it emails me, hey, this is a reminder of your trip. Here is your hotel details, here's your flight details. And then I think like a day or two before, it reminds me again about my trip. So thank goodness for TripIt, because I don't have to go into every single Airbnb portal or every Expedia portal or every Skyscanner portal to search for my reservations and my confirmation numbers, because Lord knows knows that I've done that before, and it was kind of like a tedious process looking for confirmation numbers. So TripIt has everything organized and streamlined for a disorganized traveler like me. So once I have these tools at my arsenal, I can go ahead and book a low budget, I don't want to say low budget, but affordable trip. So that way I can enjoy the restaurants in the city that I'm going to, or the country that I'm going to. I can enjoy the activities or the trips and tours that I want to see. So basically, those are basically the things that I use to book my travel on a consistent basis. So that's Skyscanner, that's Airbnb, that's Expedia, and that's TripIt, the TripIt app. And let me talk about Airbnb for a minute, because a lot of people are skeptical about Airbnb, and they're like, oh, they don't want to stay in somebody's house, or they don't want anybody in their business, or they're kind of skeptical. But let me tell you, Airbnb, there's a couple of ways you can do that, because there's hosts, and sometimes the hosts are at the house where they greet you and they could take you around to the neighborhood. I remember when I first got to Bangkok, my hosts, they were a couple, and they took me around to the night markets. They told me a little bit about Thai culture and Thai language, and the things that I should say and not say, and like kind of like just giving me a good idea of how to be as a tourist in Thailand. So I wasn't like disrespecting anyone or anything like that. So that was good. But however, there are some Airbnbs where you'll never see the host. You'll never. When I went to Hong Kong, I was at an Airbnb, $13 a night, not too far from the, I think they call it the MTR or MRT. I always get that confused. Not too far. So I was like in the center of everything, and I've never seen the host. I just contacted them through phone if I had an issue or a problem, but I didn't have an issue. I think I just wanted to extend my stay. So I just called them up or emailed them, and they extended my stay, right? So basically, when people tell me, oh, Airbnb, I'm scared, because sometimes people put their inns, like if they have a little bed and breakfast or a little inn, they put it on their Airbnb. Or if they have a house or a condo, you probably will never see that host. The only time you probably see the host is when they're giving you the keys, or they'll probably even give you a secret location to pick up the keys. So it just depends. So you're not really staying with another person when you're in the Airbnb. Yes, sometimes you do, but you can find Airbnbs that are exclusively private, where it feels like your own hotel room or your own private space. So don't be scared to go on Airbnb, because you can get really, really great deals and save yourself a lot of money, so you can enjoy the other luxuries of your trip. So what are your favorite tools that you like to use when you travel abroad or in the state or anywhere? Let me know in the notes below. Until next time, Nina Lewis signing out. Talk to you later. Bye.